Desexualizing your brain is the cheat code to success. In a world where media and advertising often use sex appeal as a hook, it's easy to find your thoughts preoccupied with sexuality. But you know that redirecting that mental energy could unlock higher levels of success and productivity. Today, we'll look into how desexualizing your brain might just be the cheat code to achieving more in life. First, let's understand what we mean by desexualizing your brain. It's not about suppressing or denying your sexual identity or needs, it's about gaining control over where and when you focus your sexual energy. Our brains, bombarded with sexual images and thoughts, tend to prioritize these impulses over more productive tasks. This is not just a distraction but a significant barrier to achieving our goals. It's like your brain is on autopilot towards desires that might not be beneficial in the long term. So, how can you get out of it? I will give you 5 steps out of it, and I have captured them in a simple acronym to help you remember. The acronym is FOCUS. Here's how to focus your brain out of sexualization. F. Follow this mindset. Women want men too. It's important to realize that it's not only men who feel the need to seek out relationships or have sex, women do too. When you understand this, you can shift from just chasing to interacting equally. This change in thinking removes the pressure many men feel to always be the pursuers and creates a more balanced way of interacting. When you realize that ladies have desires too, you won't see much need to seek them out. Instead, you can focus on being someone they will seek out too. This balance is not just good for your mindset, it makes your interactions healthier. Obsession or desperation can make you act in ways that aren't genuine, but when you know that the interest can be mutual, you feel less stressed and more confident. When you start seeing relationships as something where both sides have an interest, it reduces your anxiety and helps you be yourself. Being real and honest in how you talk and act leads to better and more meaningful connections, both in your personal life and at work. Oh, opt out of temptations. You already know this, but let me give you a perspective that would really help. It's easier to avoid a temptation than to resist it. Let me say it again, it is easier to avoid a temptation than to resist it. If what you want to do is scroll Instagram and think you won't look at those videos and soft porn, you deceive yourself. It is better to not be exposed to it than to have to fight it. Think about it, your grandpa probably never had a porn addiction, well, because there was no porn then. Consciously stay away from videos that can sidetrack your mental focus, like pornography and suggestive images on social media. I'm not saying, feel guilty for watching them, I'm saying avoid rather than fight. Constant exposure to these quick fixes can rewire your brain, making it challenging to engage in activities that offer deeper, more lasting rewards. Activities that require patience and effort, such as building meaningful relationships or mastering a new skill, can become less appealing because they don't offer the same immediate high. By cutting down on such distractions, you're teaching your brain to appreciate the rewards that come from sustained effort and meaningful achievements. To effectively opt out of these temptations, start by identifying the triggers that make you seek them out. Create strategies to avoid these triggers, such as using tools that block distracting websites or setting strict limits on your screen time.
Incessant scrolling on social media, bad food consumption, these are all linked to short-term gratification, an aversion toward long-term gratification. Ultimately, we want people to cultivate long-term gratification strategies. How do we get guys off porn? How do we get guys off these bad habits? They're all very, very much related. If a guy's worst vice, if his biggest problem is porn addiction, well, I'd actually tell the guy, okay, start by actually cutting back on your social media use. Let's find a low-hanging fruit that we can target. Maybe it's sugar consumption. The first step is like, okay, let's cut out all like sodas and sugary foods. Let's start there. Delete TikTok, delete Instagram, whatever he needs to do. Okay, and then he might find that he starts to have a bit more self-control. His dopamine receptors have a little bit of a gap relief there for them to start to reset, not have that hamster wheel cocaine addiction kind of effect. And then he has to start learning to like wean himself off of the pornography, right?
Running away from the temptation leads us to the next point. C. Change your habits. Now, you have to reevaluate how you spend your time, especially the hours you might currently be dedicating to unproductive sexual pursuits. Experts say, it's easy to just spend hours on porn, but what if you spent hours on taking a course that would help your career instead? C. Sexual activities give you immediate pleasure and robs you of the willpower to stay at things that have future ROI. Now, you think about it, do you want to feel happy for touching yourself or happy because you got a bigger check at work? Imagine the possibilities if you redirected even a fraction of this time towards learning a new language, practicing a musical instrument, or getting into better physical shape. Each of these pursuits not only provides personal satisfaction and development, but also improves your mental health by reducing idle time that could lead to unproductive thoughts. It's the same thing with social media, the place where you see all these sexy videos. Instead of browsing through social media or watching videos during your breaks, you could take a walk, read a book, or meditate. The key to making this change is consistency and a positive mindset. It's not about completely overhauling your life overnight, but about making manageable adjustments that gradually lead to significant improvements. This not only helps in reducing the mental clutter associated with sexual thoughts, but also makes you more productive and engaged in your daily life. You utilize public spaces. We both know that you indulge in sexualizing activities the most in the corner of your room, but here is something to think about. Do you realize that whenever you have something busy and important to do, say prepare for an exam, you somewhat forget about sexualizing activities? See, privacy and secrecy is a major strength for desires like this. It has even been proven by research that people who struggle with masturbation can get out of it by simply doing something distracting when they feel the desire.
Get a rubber band, put it on your wrist. Every time you think about pornography, fantasy, or you're checking out everyone's body, take it, snap it, boom. Now you got ring the bell, spank the dog, spank the dog, spank the dog. Instead of rewarding it for lust and moving you towards masturbation, you can shut it down at the thought. If you have a spiritual background, use some spiritual material to support that. But you want to definitely neurologically shut down the conditioned response cycle. You can do that today.
You can go visit a friend and stay with them or play a game to distract your desires. Also, if you have a good circle of friends, I'm sure you wouldn't be comfortable playing videos of women or men that might trigger you around them. If you work from home, go use a library, cafe, or something. You can get a job at a cafe, just get involved in an activity that demands your time and attention publicly. Also, being in public places can provide social benefits. Even the simple act of seeing others working diligently can motivate you to mimic their productive behaviors. It can also open opportunities for networking and social interactions that wouldn't occur if you were isolated at home. To make the most of public spaces, plan your tasks ahead of time. Bring all necessary materials and set clear objectives for what you want to accomplish during your time there. This preparation ensures that your time is well spent and can significantly increase the likelihood of having a productive session. Sexualizing content steals your productivity, so if you manage to take it back, it would give you strength to win more. Socialize. And here is the final advice: you need people around you. Or better still, you need the right people around you. See, you need to be in the place where great conversations are happening. Your life will naturally take the direction of your thoughts, and thoughts are shaped by conversations. Have conversations with people who are passionate about doing things in the world so you can start living in that light too. You can also achieve this by listening to the right content. Listen to conversations on how people become who they are and learn from that. This video you're watching is a great example of one, and you should check our other contents on how to get a hold of your social life. Desexualizing your brain isn't about denying a part of your human experience, it's about mastering it. By directing your focus towards productive tasks and maintaining a healthy balance in your life, you're not just avoiding distractions, you're setting yourself up for genuine success. Do like this video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the video. Remember, control over your mind means control over your life. Let's master our minds and achieve our true potential.